Okay. So, yeah, this is what we were working yesterday, right? The last example, we were trying to guess that number, right? And this was an example of while. We are still working with while, and we said that, instead of giving a condition here, generally while works with a condition, right? And if condition is true, that's when we go inside, right? Inside the while block. But here, um, we have, instead of giving condition and then checking the condition whether it's true or false, we directly said true, so that we straight away get inside this while. Okay, so such while is also called as exit controlled while. Okay, typically you have while condition, so you are checking the condition, and condition is true, that's when it allows you to go in. But here I'm not checking the condition, I'm directly saying get inside, and then I'm checking the condition here, right? When actual is equal to guess, that's when we are saying break. So as I said, when you go to a movie theater, instead of checking your uh, valid ticket at the entrance, they allow you to get in, and at the exit they check, right? This is like checking at the exit. Okay, and then you have valid ticket, you get out, right? Otherwise you keep going round and round inside the theater. So something like that. So we were playing this game, and so here we have actual value. Okay, so I said that we saw using random, but I have commented it out because I want to build few more interesting things to this, and then we'll come back and make it totally random. So this is actual 45, and we are trying to guess this number. If you guess it right, you say you guess it correctly, and you go out within given attempt, right? With it, look, let's play this game again just to revise what we did. So we have to guess that
What?
number. Yeah.
Go ahead, I'm listening.
Okay. So we said 55, and of course it says your guess is higher. So we need to guess a lower value. I say 45, and it took 2 attempts to guess it. Okay. Now we can give a range. Okay, instead of saying guess your number, I can say guess your number between 1 and 100. Okay, and what happens if guess number is below 1 or above 100, right? So I'm just trying to build extra layer of complexity or extra features, you can say, to this. So before we actually check if the value, if the value is equal to guess or not, I'm going to check if guess is less than 1 or, right? So if guess is less than 1 or guess is greater than 100. I've not used equal to, okay? It means that, if it is equal to is also fine, right? Equal to 1 or equal to 100 is also fine. But if guess is less than 1 and or guess less than 100, okay, we can we shouldn't, or there's no point checking all these conditions, isn't it? Because we have entered an invalid number. If the number itself is invalid, then it makes sense to check. So you can give a print statement saying invalid number, and then you can say continue. So now we're talking about second command that is used generally in a loop, that is continue. Break, as we discussed yesterday, this would throw us out of the loop, right? The moment we get this loop, it will throw us out. Continue, okay, no matter where you are, you will be taken to the beginning of the loop. So we are encountering and continue here. The moment we say continue, it goes back to the while. It goes back to line number 3. Whatever you have below this will not be executed. Okay, the moment you realize that no, it's invalid, there's no point going there. You're going for a movie theater, and you get a message saying the movie show is cancelled. If it's cancelled, there's no point going there, right? So something like that. Okay, the number is invalid if I'm asking you to enter between 1 and 100, and if you enter 101, what's the point of going further, right? So if I run it here and I say 101, let's say, okay, invalid number, and it takes you back to guessing, right? It takes us back to guessing the number. I enter 0. Again, it says invalid number and it takes back for guessing. And now I say 45 here. Now when I say 45, okay, it says you guessed it correctly, and it did calculate, or it did take into account the invalid attempts that we made, right? Because attempt is right after guess. So moment you guess, the attempt is incremented by 1. But let's say, okay, based on our requirement, if there's an invalid guess, then attempt should not get increment, or attempt should not increase. So in this case, okay, what I'll do is I'm going to delete or maybe remove from here and paste it after continue. Okay, that means if the number is invalid, we are not changing the attempt. We are not increasing the attempt value. Now, I mean, just to show you, how things work. That's all, So if you want attempt to increase only if you enter a valid number, okay, it's a valid business justification, right? So we increase it after doing continue. So now if I repeat and perform similar kind of work, if I say 101, 0 and enter 45, you see, we have guessed it in one attempt only. Yeah.
Gotcha.
So, yeah, that's how continue works. Okay,
Gotcha.
so yes, even though we have the statement here, this was not touched, or this was not executed in earlier cases, because the moment we said continue, immediately after line number 8, it goes back to line number 3. Okay, so I think this is what I wanted to build. We have built it. Now I'm going to make it a little more complex in the sense, let me first copy it and I'll save it here. Okay, so just that from yesterday we added this continue part. I wanted to show you how continue works. Okay, we'll continue building about it. Now we make it random. Okay, so yeah, I need to import random. To make it random, I'm going to say import random. Okay, so it's like computer is thinking of a number and we are guessing what computer has thought. Okay, let's run it, and I'm going to say 50. It says guess is higher, so I'll say 35. Guess is lower, so 45. Guess is higher, 40. Guess is lower, 43. Okay, it took us 5 attempts to guess it. Okay, now can we change it? Okay, in a way computer is playing against computer. Okay, so instead of we checking manually, okay, I'm going to comment this part, okay, and I'm going to use random here, and I'm so that means it's randomly we are checking, isn't it? Okay, and let's run it and see what happens. It took 43 attempts to guess. We could guess in 5, 6, 7 attempts. Why did it take 43 attempts to guess? Can you see the flaw in this program?
What's that random rating? Where it's guessing itself, so it's computer going against computer, basically.
Right, but why not it takes 5 or 7? Why do you think it's taking 43? Of course, it's a random thing, right? So we got 40. The next time you run, it will be 99 attempts. See, it's taking a lot more than what we would take.
Right.
Right.
Because we're able to read the higher or lower and guess based upon the information we're given.
Exactly. So here what we have done, we have said, random int 1, 100. So every time we are guessing between 1 and 100, irrespective of the output that we got earlier, right? When we were playing manually, we saw, oh, 50 is higher. That means the next number shouldn't be 50 or higher. It should be, at max, it can be 49, correct? So we were closing down the guesswork every time, and that's why we were able to guess it faster. And that logic is not implemented here. So let's build that logic here. Now, before that, I just want to see if I give minus 101 and 1000. Let's see what happens. Okay. So see, you get invalid number. And now you see, it guessed within 3 attempts. That's amazing. Okay. Okay.
Hold 1 second, please. Hold 1 second, please.
Yeah, sure.
Oh. So, can you hear me?
Yes, I can hear you. Yes.
Okay, I'm back.
Okay, great. So very rarely, you see, guessing in 3 attempts. Okay, but okay, I just wanted to show you that, it's able to guess invalid number as well. Okay, so as you correctly said, okay, it shouldn't be, when you're guessing for the first time, it can be 100, 200, but second time, again, we have to reduce that range, correct? So how do we do that? So let's try to use a couple of variables. I'm going to say low, comma, high equal to 1, 100, right? So low is 1 and high is 100. So I'm going to replace this with low, comma, high. So this looks good, okay? Now the low and high should change based on the previous guess, okay? Now, if it is perfect guess, it's all good. What if it's not perfect guess? Okay, now if we are here, what happens if your actual is less than the guess? Then what should we do? What do we generally do if guess is higher? The next value,
lower number.
Right, the next number should be lower. So when your guess is high, okay, when our guess is high and the actual number is lower, so we need to change the high value, isn't it? High, instead of being 100, it should be around what we guessed. So let's say if I say 80 and it says actual is less than guess, your guess is higher. So next time the high should be 79, not 80 or more than 80. Did you guess this part? So if our guess is higher, let's say our guess is 80, we guessed 80 and number is something less than 80. So next time, the high value that we can think of should be high minus 1, not anything more, right? Next time you can, so we know that it is not 80 and it is not higher than 80. So high should be less than 80. At max, it can be 79. Isn't it? Right? So see, if you have guessed number 80, let's say you have actual number is 40 and you have guessed 80. And so message is guess is higher, correct? So next time, will you guess 80 or higher than 80? No, in your mind, you will say, okay, it is less than 80, right? So you will keep 79 as the highest number that you could guess. Yes? It's like this, okay? Let's say if I tell you, no, Ray, 80 is too high for me. Okay, if I tell you 80 is too high for me, whatever, right? So what it means that I'm okay. I may be okay till 79. I may be okay till 79. Definitely not okay with 80 or more than 80. Yes?
Yes, that's correct.
Right. So that's why I'm saying high is 80 minus 1, 79. And similarly, if I'm here when our actual is higher than the guess, so if I say guess is 20, so you say that no, 20 is low. So now we know that it cannot be 20 or less than 20. At the lowest, it can be 21. Right. And now if you run it, definitely is going to be much less. 54 is also too much. Okay, did I make any mistake? Let's see. No, I think looks like we made some mistake. It shouldn't be that high. Okay. Let me try once again. Okay, let's see this. Low and high. Okay. What we'll do is we'll try to print the guess and then we'll see what happens. Okay. This is how we actually debug, right? We have no other way but to guess. Let's see if the logic is being followed correctly or not. So I'm saying guess equal to guess, and here I go and I'll print the actual. And so that we can compare what's the actual value and what's the guess value, and if our logic is working fine. If our logic is working fine, then we are fine. Otherwise, we'll see where we are going wrong. So now let's see. Okay, 15 attempts, not bad, but let's see what happened. So actually it's 53. Okay, now you see there's a problem here. See, actually it's 53, isn't it? And we guess 70. Your voice is again breaking, Ray. I'm finding it difficult to hear you.
Hold on 1 second.
Yeah, this was better actually. Again. Okay. Now you see this, our logic has broken. Actual is 53, which is fine. We guess 72, which is also okay. And it says guess is higher. Now, if guess is higher, the next time we should be guessing less than 72. How did we get 78? It should have been less than 72. That's what we discussed, right? So the mistake we made here is, okay, we said high equal to high minus 1. Initially, high is 100. So we are saying high equal to high minus 1 becomes 99. It shouldn't be 99. It should be this one minus 1, right? if your guess is 72, it should be 72. That means it should be guess minus 1. Right? I just did that just to show you the error. So see, one thing is when you run it, manually we were doing it, we were getting around 5, 7, 9 kind of thing. So how can computer make such a guess, right? We're getting 50, 40. So definitely something was wrong. So we realized it that it should be guess minus 1. Guess is 72. So next time we should guess less than 72, not less than, a high. Same thing here, it should be guess plus 1. Now when you run it, see, 1 attempt. Oh, this is this is luck, pure luck, right? Shouldn't be like that, but yeah. Okay, let's see, 7 attempts, not bad. Okay, 7 attempts, 5 attempts. Now it looks good, isn't it? And once you are done checking your program, you can comment your print statement. Okay, we don't want to use the print. Okay, so now it's fine. Okay.
Got it. Yeah.
We'll do one more example, okay, with this, and then probably we'll move ahead. Sorry. I'm going to paste it here. Okay, and we'll take same example. Okay, so this is about, we were randomly guessing it, right? Now, how do we play, right? How do we play? We go with, okay, 1 and 100, we go with 50, right? Now, if 50 is lower, that means we have to guess between 50 and 100. So now we check with 75, right? So we are, generally, in such case, can you see my paint here?
Yes, I see it.
Okay. So what I'm doing here is, okay, instead of, the manually, like, the manual way would be, see here, automatic is you're randomly checking within the given range. That's fine. But our approach is generally, we start with 50 first, correct? And then we say, if it says that actual number is less than 50, then we go and check for, actual number is less, right? So this will become 1 itself. This will be 100 itself. Now we check for 25. If actual number is still less, then we'll go check for 25 by 2, 12. If it is higher, then we move lower here and higher here, and we check in this range, right? That's what we do, right? We start with 50, then 75 or 25 based on the value. So let's try to implement this logic, okay, the manual logic. So manual logic is, we are not doing the random thing, but we are trying to look for, we are dividing this data set into half. Then we want to know whether it is in the lower half or higher half, second half. It is in the second half. Then we'll divide the second half into 2 parts, and we'll see if that number, actual number, is in higher half of higher half or lower half of higher half. It is lower half of this. Then again we'll divide and we'll check if this is in this half or this half of this, this division. Okay, it says higher than this. Then again we'll divide here, and we'll keep on dividing till you land on that number. So let's do that. Okay, so everything is correct. We just have to change here where the random int, right? So we will not do random int. Okay, instead we'll do low plus high by 2. Low plus high by 2, correct? Low plus high by 2 means first you're doing 1, then you're doing 100. So 1 plus 100, 101 by 2. Okay, integer 2 is 50. So you get 50. Then we change the high and low value. Okay, we change the high and low value. So let's try to manually see what happens when we do here. Let's say actual value is 45. Okay. Actual value is 45. So now what we're doing in the first attempt, we are saying guess is 1 plus 100 by 2. So 101 by 2, okay, 50. So guess is 50. Now when guess is 50, the guess is higher than 45, right? So we get that message that guess is higher than 50. Okay. Then we go to this one, right, where guess is higher. So we are saying high equal to guess minus 1. So guess is 50. So high becomes 49. Okay. And low is 1. Low, there's no change here. So now we do 49 plus 1 by 2. So 50 by 2, 25. So now we are checking our guess number is 25. Okay. So we're checking for 25. Remember, high has come to 49, low is 1. Now when we talk about 25, 45 is greater, right? Guess is lower. So when guess is lower, we reach this part. So here, low becomes guess plus 1. So guess is 25, 25 plus 1, 26. So it's no longer 1, it becomes 26. Okay. Now we are saying, now we're going to go back to guessing. We are saying low plus high by 2. So 49 plus 26, which is 75 by 2, right? 75 by 2 is like 27.
7.5.
Yeah, but we are using double integer, right? Double slash. So double slash will ignore the decimal part. You get 27 only. So now we are checking for 27.
37.
26 plus 49 by 2.
Something I didn't see it. I see
Yeah. You're right. I was thinking something else. Right. 37. Right. 37. So now, okay, you're comparing 45 with 37. So 37 is lower. Our guess is lower. Right? If guess is lower, now low changes to 38. Right? So we are slowly closing on to 45. So this is what we are doing. Let's run this and see how much time does it take to run. 7 attempts. 6, 4, 7, 6, 5. Okay. So this is also efficient. Now, how do we know if this is more efficient or okay, this is more efficient, the guess one. So this is also taking around 6 to 7 attempts. That is also taking around 6 to 7 attempts. Right? I need to know between this and the guess one, which is more efficient. If you run once or twice, it is very difficult to guess, right? Sometimes it takes 7, sometimes it takes 5. If you run it 100K times, right, then you will know exactly which is better, right? Like tossing a coin, right? You have 2 coins and you're tossing a coin for head or tail, right? Is there any biasness, okay? Or is there a tail that gives you more head than, tail? So if you toss it 5 times, 10 times, you don't realize it. You have to do it 100K times or 50,000 times or 200K times. Then you will see, oh, this coin is giving me 60% of head. So this is more biased towards head. So by tossing 2-3 times, by running this experiment 2-3 times, we'll not be able to guess, right? So we have to do it, okay? So this is where the probability comes into picture. But that's okay. We are not going there yet. We'll do it towards the end when we get into analytics and data science kind of concept, but for while this is enough, right? So in the loop, we have spoken about for loop. We have drawn different patterns yesterday. While loop we have seen how to use continue and break, correct? And with that, we conclude our loop concepts. Okay, and loop concept is a big milestone in programming. Okay, you can say that this is your first milestone we have achieved. Okay, it is, I call it a milestone because for non-programmers, okay, this is important. I think it looks like my internet is giving problem. Can you hear me now better? Is it my voice clear?
Yeah, I can hear you clearly.
Okay, so the loops is a major achievement, okay, or a big milestone, because most of the logic, okay, can be achieved using loop and conditions. Now, whatever we are going to do from now on, the next topics that we're going to do is about being more efficient way of doing programming. Okay, we'll learn new things which we can use to make our programs more efficient. But if you focus on the core logic, if and loops is good enough to create, this core logic. Sounds good? So are we ready to move to next level?
Yes, sounds good.
Awesome. So I'll just save this here. And now we'll move to next topic. So yes, so we have covered, conditions and loops. The next topic I want to talk about is strings. Okay. So we have spent enough time on doing different operators, right? We did plus, minus, into, division, integer division, etc. And all the examples that we did, mostly we're talking about numbers itself, right? Less than, greater than, things like that. Now we'll turn our attention towards strings, how to handle strings. So first of all, how do you declare a string? So we discussed that, okay, in Python, we can declare strings. So I'm going to say var1 equal to, using single quote, or you can use double quote. Okay, I can say good morning. You can say triple quote. Okay, I can use double triple quote as well. Okay, now all these four ways are valid ways of writing or creating a string in Python. Okay, so how do we check if it is a string? So you can say print type of, say, var4. So I'm going to copy this and I'm going to paste it here, 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 just to see all these four give us str, 3 variables. Okay, so all these are 4 valid ways of declaring a string. Okay, so your var1, var2, var3, var4 are variables of type string. Great. So what's the difference between these? Okay, when should we use single quotes? So when should we use double? When to use triple? Okay, so now before we get into this, okay, you need to understand that there is no difference. Okay, there is no difference between single and double. There's no difference here. And there is no difference here. So when I say there's no difference between these and there's no difference between these, I'm also saying that there is difference between this half and second half, isn't it? So difference is that, okay, your single or double, okay, single quote or double quote can only take one line of text, whereas triple quote or double triple quote can take multi-line text, right? So in same example, if I give enter, okay, so see what it did. PyCharm is clever enough, so it has created, quotation slash another quotation, okay? So it's like you cannot do multi-line text, okay? But here, hi there, okay? And I can clearly hit enter and I say, hi there, um, where are you going? Okay, I'm here till you come or whatever, right? Okay, here I can say something, okay, some junk message I'm typing. Okay, now you see, I could clearly hit enter and write 3 lines of text or 3 lines of text. Okay, of course, all of these will give me str, but when you start printing, you can see print var3 or you say print var4. Okay, everything is as it is mentioned. Moment we hit enter, so see here also you have enter, hi there, where are you going? Okay, you see, so when you have multi-line text, okay, we should use triple quote. When it is single line, okay, you can use all 4. So a single line text, there's no restriction, you can use all 4, but we prefer either single quote or double quote. But when you have multi-line text to write, only triple quote will come for your help. Okay, so that's the difference. Between these two, there's no difference. You can use single or double interchangeably. But condition is whatever you start with, same thing you have to end with. I cannot say, single quote here and then I say double quote here. That's not going to work. Whatever you start with, same thing you have to end with. You have to end the text, the same quotation. Okay, so this is few things about string. Let's talk even more few things. Okay, even more things about string. So next thing is, okay, so let's say I want to print something like this. Say, what's your name? Okay, I want to print what's your name. Now in this case, okay, if I say print single quote, or before we print, okay, let me define a variable. Okay, I'm going to say var5 equal to single quote, what's your name? It's going to give error. Why? Because this what's is using this apostrophe, which is like single quote, right? This single quote looks like the closing quote for this, isn't it? So because we started with single quote, the next single quote is treated as closing quote. And when you treat at closing quote, it looks as if this is closed here and you have written extra text which is outside the quotation. Error. Okay. So in this case, it's better that you write with double quote. Since we started with double quote, it will look for matching closing quote, isn't it? It will look for matching closing quote, right? So our single quote apostrophe is safe, right? So now when we run this var5, absolutely no problem. What's your name is printed the way we wanted it to be printed.
Okay, if that's the case, then why would you ever use a single quote? Wouldn't it just be better to use double quote most of the time unless you need to do the multi-line?
So see, it's like giving you options. Okay, Python actually gives a lot of option. Okay, the reason is every language is different. When we talk about database later, see, database does not accept double quote. Okay, there's a different meaning for double quote in database, in SQL programming. So there, if you have to give a text, you have to give single quote. Okay, Then again, if you're writing a JSON file format, JSON file format has again different meaning for double quote and single quote. Now, what I assume, okay, why we have this kind of thing in Python is because if you look at C, C++ or Java for that matter, what they say, okay, they have difference between character and a string. Character means a single character. String is more than one character. So in those languages, what they say is, and they have a clear-cut meaning for single quote and double quote, okay? What Java C++ says is, if you want to write a single character Y, let's say, you put it in single quote. They have a fixed meaning for single quote. So if you want to write Y, that's the short form for yes. Okay, you want to write A, single character will use single quote. And if you're talking about string, multi-line, okay, multi-line means, let's say, yes, multi-character, not multi-line, sorry, multi-character, okay, multi means more than two, more than one, no, name, something like this. So those languages uses both single quote and double quote, and they have concept of character and string. Character is single character and string is more than one character. So when you have character, you define as single quote, and when you have string, you define as double quote. Now coming to Python, Python does not differentiate between single character and multi-character. Okay, it calls even single character as string and multi-text also, multi-character text, multi-line text also as string only. So since we do not have concept of character, that means, single quote would go waste in Python, isn't it? So Python says, okay, since I'm considering both as same, you can use both, as per your convenience. And that's what my guess is, okay? I don't know truth, but it's like this, right? You bought two stuff, okay, from two different places. And now if you combine them, you still keep those together, right? I mean, just to make sure that remind yourself that, okay, these two are same, I mean, just a random thought. So it gives you extra capability to do that. So if they get rid of single quote, then there's no use of single quote, isn't it? So instead, okay, let's skip it. Okay, maybe the next example which I'm going to talk about here, you will see the importance of single quote. Okay, so if I say what's your name, then it's fine. Okay, double quote works well. But let's say if I have to print something like this, generally in the novels they write this text, right? Like, he said, or he asked, maybe, he asked, how are you? Something like this we do ask, right? We generally, the quoted text, when you have to quote somebody, we put double quotation, isn't it? Now if I want to display this as it is, then again, if I use double quotation, this first occurrence of double quotation will be treated as closing quote, right? And then you get error here. So instead, if I use single quote and I paste it, so if I paste it, what happened? Yeah, let me copy it again. Now, since we started the quote with single quote, it will look for the closing quote, right? Single close matching closing quote for ending quote. So in between, whatever you type as it is printed. Right? This was our objective. This was our aim, to print the quoted text as it is. So you get it like this. True?
So right. So it just gives you the ability to be flexible by
flexible.
which quote you want to use. Yes, I got
Exactly. But there is another catch to it. Okay. Instead of he doesn't ask how are you, he asks your name. What's your name? Now what do we do, right? So now we can't use single quote, we can't use double quote, right? So one option is you
Triple quote.
use triple quote,
Triple quote.
right? And you put as it is, okay? And you get this value as it is. And there is another option using escape sequence. We discussed about escape sequence, right? /n for new line, /t for tab. So we said that slash gives us a power, right? Slash gives power. Okay. So it makes normal character powerful. At the same time, it can make a powerful character normal. Okay. So what I mean by that is, okay, now it says, okay, you start with either double or single, doesn't matter. Okay. You start with, let's say, double itself. And you paste it here. Okay. So we paste it. Now this quotation, okay, we don't want this quotation to be treated as closing quotation. We want this quotation to be treated as a normal text, not as a special text where you're using it to close the string quotation. So it says you put backslash. Okay. So you have a, answer for this also, right? So if you put backslash, it kind of removes the power of quotation. It's no longer, this can no longer be used for closing quote or opening quote. This has become a normal text with no power, toothless tiger, right? It is tiger because it is a closing quote, but it cannot use for closing or opening. Okay. Now here also I can give it if you want to, but not required, because anyway we are using. So you can give it, but not mandatory. But here you have to give it because we are using double quote, right? And this is not the closing quote. Closing quote is here after that. Okay. So you can do this one also using escape sequence and you get exactly same answer. You see? So it's like options. Okay. You have these options. It's up to you. Whatever you feel comfortable, whatever you feel easy. Sometimes you'll feel easy to give triple quote and don't worry about all those things. Sometimes it's okay. No, triple quote is too big quote. I'm going to manage the single quote and I'm going to manage this using, a backslash. So it's up to you how you manage it. So this is how you can declare a string. You can start using a string. Okay. There's some few more properties of a string. We discussed yesterday, right? That print can be used, or it's not print, for loop, okay, can be used along with string also, right? So we used with range mostly. I mean not mostly. We used only with range so far. Now, how can we use loop with a string? So let's go back here. We have variable one is what? Hello. Okay. So we'll take hello only, variable one, hello. So you say for I in. These things are very familiar, isn't it? For to indicate that you want to do for loop. Okay. I is the counter that is going to count the value. Okay. And okay, in is going to take the value from right hand side and assign it to the left side, which is to I. Okay. But what should we give in the right side? We don't want to use range, but we want to use string. So I'm going to say var1. So what does var1 contain? var1 contains HELLO, 5 characters, 5 letters, HELLO. So when you say I in var1, now instead of I taking 1, 2, 3, 4 of from range, it will take HELLO from var1. It's going to take HELLO from var1, HELLO from var1, because that's the string that this var1 has, right? And if you print I, okay, you can see it is printing HELLO. So since var1 has value hello, I will take value from var1 hello, one thing, and this is going to run 5 times because the number of characters, I'm not talking alphabets. Okay, string is all about characters, not alphabets, not numbers. It can have anything, any character it can have, right? So I'm talking about characters. Yeah.
Can you go over that part again? I got confused on that part about the for and the hello. Can you go over that again?
Okay. Yes, sure. So for I in, we know that, right? We have used this before. So you know what for is. To repeat a loop, I is a variable and I'm saying in because the right side value will be assigned to left side. That's what happened in range also. When you say range 5, we got value 0, 1, 2, 3, 4 assigned to the counter, right? Whether you use I, J, K, right? In last yesterday's example, we used I, J, K, and So so range is generating values 0 to 5, and for is taking those value and assigning it to I, right? We say in, and in will do that. Now here we don't have range, instead we have string. So string is generating characters, not numbers. Okay, string is generating characters or your text. So what text it is generating? It is generating HELLO. So what values will I take? I will take HELLO. Once H, then E, then L, then L, then O.
I think that's from confused at like where are you getting the hello from?
Oh, okay. I thought I showed you here. Where one is hello.
Oh, okay.
I'm sorry.
That's
I'm
why I was
sorry.
getting confused at.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah.
I think I scrolled very fast. Okay. I went up and I went down. Yeah. So yes, this is where one is hello. Yes. Sorry. Yeah. Maybe what I'll do is I'll just copy and paste it there so that it's visible. Yeah. So var1 is hello, and I in var1 is hello. So I takes first H, then E, then L, then again L, then O. So this loop is running 5 times, right? Because that's the number of characters in the variable. Okay. So you can create for loop using strings. Okay. There's one more for loop we'll do, if not today, the next session. But before that, there are a few more stuff which I want to talk about. Okay, the in operator. Okay, what does in operator do? So let's say I do print H in var1. So you see that it says true. Okay, so in, okay, without using for, okay, without using for, the in operator. So in is also an operator which checks if left side value is in right side or not. Left side value is in right side or not. What is left side? Left side here in line number 28, you see is H. And I want to see if H is in var1, that is hello or not. Okay. So since H is in hello in var1, we get true. Instead of small h, if I give capital H and I ask same question, is H in var1? False, because capital H is not the string. Okay, Python is case sensitive and strings are even more case sensitive. Okay, so they will also match cases to cases. So small h is there, but capital H is not there. If you search for capital H, you will not be able to find it. So this will check. In is a very useful operator, you can say, which will quickly check for you whether the left side input that you give is available in the right side or not. If it is available, true. If it is not, you get false. Simple. Okay.
Got it.
Okay. Now I want to talk about what is called as indexing. Okay. I don't want to access all the data, right? When I say print var1, I'll get complete hello. I don't want complete hello. I want just hell out of hello, right? Okay. So for that, we need to do what is called as indexing. Okay. Indexing is done to get a portion, subset of data. Okay. So before we actually do, I want to understand how the counting happens in Python. Can you see my Excel file?
Yes, I see it.
Okay. I guess I'm going to write hello here. Okay. So now we'll talk about what is called the index of each character. Okay. What is the position? Now this h is the first position in that variable, right? So the first member is represented as 0. So the index of h in Python, okay, index starts from 0. Okay, in R starts from 1, but most of the languages indexing starts from 0. The first member of that variable, okay, is indexed as 0. So if I need to know only the first member, I can say 0. Okay, what 0? We'll go back here and see here. So I want only the first member, right? So I know that I need 0th member of var1. But how do you access the 0th member? For indexing, we use square bracket. So this is now extra information that we are getting, or new information that we are getting. Square bracket, okay? Square brackets are used for indexing. Okay, that means if I want to get a portion of a string, not all the string, just a portion of a string, okay, I need to do indexing. Right? Okay.
Right.
So if I need to print just h from hello, so we know that the first member is represented as 0. So I'm going to say print, okay, var1 square bracket 0. This is how indexing is used. So your variable name, bracket open, bracket close, and within that simple bracket that we created, you add your logic. So I'm saying print var1 of 0. Okay. So when you run it here, see, you get h. Okay. So just to make sure that this is actually the output from this line, I can say something like this, 1. Okay. So var1 of 0 means I'm looking for first member of var1. First member of var1 is small h, and you get small h printed on the screen. Okay. Okay. Now let's go to Excel and let's look at the index of other member. So you have, okay, left to right indexing or forward indexing, okay, generally which starts from 0 and goes all the way up to 1 less than number of characters. So if number of characters is 5 in this case, it'll go up to 4, right? 0, 1, 2, 3, and 4. So if I need only O, if I need to print only O, what do I do? I will say
Therefore,
yes,
there
var1 of
where
4.
index 4.
Correct. So you get only O. I want to get hell out of hello. Okay.
You
So
go
here, okay. So if you want to,
comma.
yeah, not comma, we use colon. Okay.
Okay.
So if you want to do contiguous, okay, or continuous value, like when I say hell is like first four value, right? Continuous set of value, then you have to use colon. And if you are doing break, right? First, fifth, eighth. So it's not continuous, isn't it? You're picking specific values. So there we can use comma, but not here. Okay. So here, okay. Now, okay, going back to the Excel. Okay. So to get this four letter, I need to start with 0. Okay. So it starts with 0. And where does it end? It ends at 3. So wherever you're doing 0 kind of thing, right? You have to go 1 after. So if I need hello, I have to say 0 colon 4. 4 means do up to 4. Don't include 4, but do up to 4. Okay. So I'm going to say here 0. Okay. And going back here, right? 3. So I have to say 4 here. So 0 colon 4.
So it's only going to do 0 to 3 though.
Yes. 1 up to 1 less than. So 0, 1, 2, 3. So you get 4 characters. Python says, if you want to start from 0, you don't have to tell me. If you want to start from 0, you don't have to tell me. You simply, write it without putting even 0. Make sense? So if it
Yes.
is 0, you don't even have to mention it. Okay, don't mention it. But colon has to be there to indicate that you're doing from beginning till fourth, until fourth, not till fourth, until, right? So it is just 1 before 4 it stops. Okay, so this is simple, but Python doesn't stop here. Python has added one more layer here. So this is your forward indexing or normal indexing. Python also has backward indexing. So in backward indexing, count starts from -1, -1, -2, -3, -4, and -5. Okay, so you end up getting -1 to -5. So this is our backward indexing. So every character here in the string has two indices. One coming from forward, which is like 0 to n-1, and second coming from the minus indexing, which is -1 to -n, where n is the number of characters in the string. So O here, okay, has index of 4 as well as index of -1. So going back to our example here, okay, so if you say 4 for O, you can also say -1, isn't it? So -1 will also give us O. Okay. The concept's exactly same, okay? Very same concept. Now, let's say I want to I want to okay, I want to print hell using negative indexes. Same hell, but I want to use minus index. Okay, so let's try. I want hell using minus index. How do I get it? Let's try. Can you make a first attempt?
That's -5 to -2. So we have
Minus
to do,
-5 to -2. Okay, so remember the right side value is up
-1.
to. Perfect.
-5 to -1.
-5 to -1. Perfect. Okay, you get hell. But again, remember what Python said? Python said that if you don't give me anything in the beginning, I'll assume that you are doing from the first. Okay, so
Got it.
okay, great. And now let's say I want LLO. So how do I get LLO?
Low would be -3
Correct?
to it's minus. Hold on, let me see. If you go to -1, it's going to stop at L. So it'll be
Correct.
-3 to 0.
No, the 0 is in forward indexing,
Zero, that's
right?
right.
0 is
Yeah. So
other
it's
side.
-3 to.
Yes,
So I know it's -3, but then what goes at the end because you're going to
correct. There is a something
nothing
that,
there.
right, you cannot use any text as you correctly said. So as we use nothing on the left side for indicating from beginning, you use nothing at the end. Okay.
So I get it. So say you had 100 characters and you just
Mhm.
wanted to go all the way through and you just put like -3, it would run all the way to the end.
All the way up to end, exactly. So you get, I think, 98 or 97. Okay, -3 means only two values are missing, right? So you get 98 characters. Yes. Okay. So your end, or you don't define it. Okay, when you don't define it, it means automatically it's going up to the end. Okay. So you get. Let's wait and see if I was right or not. Sorry. Okay. Well. Okay, now this indexing is important. Okay, one, because it is important, we will be using it quite often. Second thing is the same concept applies for all the other data structure that we're going to talk about: list, tuple, dictionaries, numpy, pandas. Everywhere same concept applies. Okay, so we're not going to discuss this in detail again then. Okay, we have already discussed in detail. We'll just briefly touch upon, and we'll wrap up in 2-3 minutes next time when we talk about in from list perspective. Okay, accessing is exactly same. You use square bracket for access, and then you define the numbers. Okay, colon means you are looking at range of values, and no colon, single value means looking at one single value. So this is about indexing. So there is one more function here, which is len. So we are learning one more new function apart from your print and input and those data types. It's called len. Len gives us number of characters in a given string. Okay, so if I say print len of var1, remember var1 has hello, so len means number of characters. Okay, so yes, HELLO 5 characters is printed here. Okay. So, okay. Now, I want to create for loop, another for loop using len. Okay. So I'm going to say for I in range. Range needs number. I will say len of var1, right? So len of var1 is giving 5. So range, it becomes range of 5, correct? It becomes range of 5, right? So now if you print I, you get 0, 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, this 5 is the length here, right? So maybe I'll put length equal to something like this here. Now when you say print I, it's like a number 0, 1, 2, 3, 4 because length of var1 has given us number which is 5. So it's like saying 0 to 5. 0, 1, 2, 3, 4. You stop at 4, isn't it?
Right.
So this is another way. Now I want to print the values. So these are your indices, isn't it? 0, 1, 2, 3, 4. So instead of I, if I say var1 of I, if I say var1 of I, okay, now when you run it, makes sense? Easy to understand?
We're trying to see the print part. I noted the length, the var1.
Mm-hmm. So it's like saying range of 5. So that is clear. And now, we are saying var1 of 0, var1 of 1, var1 of 2. So I'm getting each value from the var1 variable. Okay. There are a couple of small properties of string. Let's discuss. Okay. You can add two strings. So let's say we have var1 as hello, and we have var2, which is good morning. Okay. I can say print var1, comma var2, of course, var2, or you can say, okay, let's run it and I'll show you what I'm trying to say. You get hello, good morning, right? Or you can say print var1 plus var2. So I'm adding two string. Okay, see, you can add two numbers. We know what we'll get, right? 5 plus 3 is 8. We cannot add a string and a number. So I cannot say good morning plus 5. I cannot say good morning plus 5 if 5 is a number. I have to convert into string, then we can add. So when you say add to string, it is going to simply concatenate. It is going to simply concatenate. Good morning plus hello will make it good morning hello. Okay, so I have var1 hello and good morning. When you run it, so you get var1 plus var2, it is hello, good morning. Okay, and it is going to display as a single value, right? You're adding two string, you get a third string. So it's a third string you're getting. So you can even say var3 equal to var1 plus var2. So var3 will have the final answer. Now you can add multiple strings together. Okay, so let's say if I want to add a space in between, so I'll say hello space. So text is declared using quotation, right? I can add 3 text, right? 5 plus 3 plus 2. You can do 3 numbers addition, right? So I'm saying var1 plus space plus var2. Okay, so you get hello, good morning. If you want to say hello and good morning, you add A and D space. You get hello and good morning. So you can add to string to concatenate, join them together. So what we get is a joined string after joining those given strings together. So you can add plus. Okay. So you can add two strings. Okay. So there's one more thing. Okay. And we'll probably stop for today. Here you are using multiplication. You can multiply a string. Okay, I can multiply, let's say, var2 with 3. Now you know that when you have addition and multiplication, which will be undertaken first? Multiplication. So here var2 will be repeated 3 times. Multiplying a string means the string will get repeated that many times. So if I say var2 into 3, you get good morning, good morning, good morning 3, and then you add them. So it's like hello and good morning, good morning, good morning. I want to give space between good morning and next good morning. So if I enter, if I say plus space and I add this, right? So now what happens? You know, your space will be multiplied by 3, right? Because first multiplication happens, then addition happens. So I'm saying good morning plus space into 3, space will be multiplied by 3. So good morning will be repeated only once, right? So instead what I'll do, okay, I'll use bracket exactly the way we use bracket in numbers, right? So I'm saying first add var2 plus space. First add var2 plus space, and that you repeat 3 times. Add space to var3 and then you repeat it 3 times. So see, hello and good morning, good morning, good morning, and good morning, good morning, good morning coming from into 3 here. Okay, so we have seen how to declare a string, how to assign values using single, double, triple, right? Then we did indexing. Indexing is important. We looked at length, length, right? Not ht. Okay. Then we used loop over string. So you can use over string values, or you can even create range based on len function. And then we saw addition and multiplication of string. So you can only add 2 strings together. You can only multiply a number with a string. Okay, there are some properties, very specific properties to strings that we'll do tomorrow. We'll cover that tomorrow.
Got it.
Sounds good?
Yeah.
Awesome. I'm going to stop here.